they were strong enough. Yes, they are strong enough issues for the military to come over. But whether we like it or not, let us tell ourselves one simple truth. The military should have no business whatsoever in conventional politics. The military should have no business. That is not the primary responsibility of the military. They should have no business in conventional politics. And that is where some scholars, including myself, stand. We stand on that till tomorrow. So the number to call 080-6464-1536. That's the number to call. 080-6464-1536. We have our first caller. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Aliu Garuba from Otonkon Road.
Yes, Mr. Ferdinand. Actually, you've broken the thing. You've given us an in-depth analysis of what happened leading to the 1960s military coup d'etat, which was bloody. You see, looking at what happened in the previous time, history repeating itself with what is happening within the African continent. The military interaction with the politics, military incursion over as a result of these factors, which are likely to be contagious. We see the military coup in other countries have given rise to military coup in other parts of Africa because of demonstrative of contagious effect. It's one of the theories of military intervention in politics. So when you look at what is happening in the Niger Republic, what is happening in Mali, what is happening in Upper Volta, which is now Burkina Faso, it's all as a result of demonstrating and contagious effect. So my clarion call to our political leaders is to rise up to the occasion and try to avoid things of this nature that can bring about military takeover. That's my tip. Thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you very much, Aliu Garba from Otonkon Road. Yes, and I'll recommend some books about politics. So you study these books. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Bob.
Oh, Bob, you're welcome once again.
Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you very much, Bob. God bless you.
Well done for your good work.
Thank you very much.
All these things we are saying, it's only the few people that witness it, people that are living are just probably the ready to book. And most of these stories about governance, either military or civilian, it's all in the written book. But how many people have time to read book now? Especially our young men and young women. It's just unfortunate. So if you can keep on, analyzing this issue, it will refresh people's mind, even if you don't have time to go into book. You understand me? As far as countries that concern West Africa is concerned, Nigeria in particular, we've had enough of military regime. You understand me? And as some people will say, that it's out of fashion. I remember OBJ, Obasanjo, coming in 1999. That time, some few military people were complaining that civilians are highly paid or politicians are highly paid or whatever. He told them that if you want to join politics, you resign your military khaki and join politics and come and army the politicians are army. I think that issue ends there. What am I trying to say? Military regime has not benefited this country in any way. You understand me? When we talk of freedom of speech, they don't tolerate it. When we talk of human rights, who is human rights under their government? Who is human rights? I'm also...
During the military, there was freedom of speech, but it was freedom after speech that's the problem.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, my brother. What are you talking? Freedom of speech.
Freedom after speech, that's the problem.
Freedom of speech. Where is it written? Maradona. He will always welcome your ideas, and what he will do, he will do. That's why he call him Maradona. And Obasanjo said, if Obasanjo said good morning, you should look at the sky if actually it's morning or night. You understand me? So what are we talking? Is it Obasanjo? That Dia, who was second in command, wrote in a coup. Look, all these things, when we see the two pictures of this military government, nobody should welcome it.
Nobody. I agree with you.
So to welcome it.
I agree with you.
You understand me? Only thing they are not seeing it. It's not because they are not seeing it. What you read in the book is different what you witness practically. Last and direct. But why you read the book, you need to have them. Don't forget all these people fast. Don't forget. God will never allow them to come.
Amen.
Is it the one they killed? Is it the man out the journalist they killed? Or what are you talking? Even when it was called when he was coming in as a civilian government, when he came in, they accused him that when you are a military government, you kill one of our journalists meeting. He was telling them that he wasn't aware. So what are we talking? Please, there's nothing as good as civilian government. Me communicating with you now is part of the benefit.
Yes.
Those who does not witness it, I pray they will never witness it.
Amen.
Because if they witness it, nobody will deliver them. You know that our deliverance from military government is an echo of the other, that gave the right for us to have this democracy we are enjoying. Echo of the other, the richest man in Africa, and even one of the respected man in America. Echo of the other. Nobody has picked his record up today. That's for this democracy we are enjoying. Because these people don't ever wanted to quit. The second decision in Nigeria will hand over the revised effective Somalia that will be for almost 9 years. Please and please, we should think reasonably and be sensible and be responsible as the citizen of this country.
Thank you very much.
And not to welcome it.
Yeah, thanks very much for your contribution. Yeah, thanks a lot. So there are books I'm going to recommend to you. Politics and Administration in Nigeria by Ladipo Adamolekun. That is one of the books. Then read this book too. Election in Nigeria, The Long Road to Democracy by Abdullah Shehu. And you can also get this one. Then there's this book, Democracy in Nigeria by Anthony Akinola. You can look for that book. Let me say it again. Democracy in Nigeria by Anthony Akinola. The Nigeria since independence, forever fragile. Was a question mark at the end. Forever fragile. Nigeria since independence, forever fragile by J.N.C. Hill. So you could read these books so that you get yourself abreast yourself with some of the happenings, in Nigeria between independence and also through the autumn of 1966 to 1970. Remember one of the fallout of the first military coup, one of the major fallout, and there was a controversial decree number 34 of 1966 promulgated by the then head of state, Major General Johnson Thomas Aguiyi Ronsi, following his takeover of government from civilians. And let's make something clear. People have said Ironsi came on, to rescue the situation by quelling the coup of 1966, January. The truth is that Ironsi didn't know there was a coup. One of the coup plotters, Major John Obienu of Reke Squadron, told Ironsi about the coup 24 hours to the coup. That was why the plotters could not find Ironsi at home when they went home. And it's on record. Let me just make it clear, it's on record. General Ironsi forced the civilians to hand over power to him. The civilians did not hand over power voluntarily. He forced the civilians to hand over power to him. Then the Prime Minister of the Federation was nowhere to be found, and Chief Wanfo Orizu, who was the then President of the Senate, had to announce on Radio Nigeria Lagos that the politicians were handing over power to the military. and Ironsi came on to accept the invitation of the military to take over power. But the truth remains that Ironsi forced them to hand over power to him. They didn't do that on their own. It's on several accounts. And several politicians of that time, some of them are late now, a few of them are still alive, have come out to say that Ironsi told them that he cannot guarantee their safety the way the boys are backing outside. So they had to do something to let them hand over power to the military. And that was exactly what happened. So it's like Ironsi plotted a coup within a coup. It's like General Ironsi plotted a coup within a coup. That was what happened on the night of the early hours of 15 January of 1966. But we'll come and talk about that. By the time we talk fully about the coup, we'll come and talk about that. We are going on a short break now. We'll play the Osama promo. Remember the Osama show, a comedy show that takes shape every January. It's like almost 15 years old now. It's going to take shape this January on the 11th of January at the Mix Palace Amusement Park. So please, let's just listen to the promo. Then we'll play one music. After then, we'll come up and tell you about some of the important happenings internationally between December 30th and January 3rd. Please stay with us. Don't go nowhere. The program remains Issues in Perspective. And I am Mbum Ferdinand. I'm here with my entire team to give you these stories. Amen. You get fire on the mountain by Asa, Asha.
Will you shut up here? I don't want to take this rubbish from you this time. Apollo Entertainment presents Rhythm of Laughter 15 years anniversary. The Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. 15 years, not be big, so. You are too faithful to me. You are too faithful to disappoint me.
Oh my God, now which kind of picking be this?
Okay.
They think and make this song get anointed.
He has it in his phone.
You play that near Goyan now. LD. I Goyan LD.
Featuring Senator, Funny Bone, MC Shakara, Nedu Alaji Musa. I said, oh, why you make a lot of sense?
That was really good. No, our system is a problem.
You are a fool.
So we don't so many.
Should we have the song in your phone?
But that which way Nigeria live and just play that one.
My papa land this too.
Eh?
I say my papa land this too.
Okay, play that one. No, play which way Nigeria. Play which way Nigeria.
MC Ekaro, Yaski, MC Askilo, Omoji, MC Lakasera, Ogilwebo, and Dudens. Press session led by Femi Jeremiah Boka. DJ on the Reefs of Jamie, DJ Triple. Date, Sunday 11th January 2026. Venue, Miss Palace Refuge. Time 2 p.m. sharp. Get entrance, regular 5,000. Online at Fella.com. At the venue, 7,000. For VIP and double bookings, call 070-544-36626. Who asked you? You talk too much.
This show is powered by J1149 FM, sponsored by National Conflict, Maxi Taste Shop Baba, Law Autos Limited, Ellipse International Limited, supported by Dr. Fish, Gagalicious Food and Events, DJ Expression, Janice Kitchen, Valada Hotel, DGC Transport Services, Smart Deep Beaches, Miss Palace, Jos Metropolitan Development Board, JMDB, Wavelength Graphic Solutions Limited, Josh's Creation, Pepsar, Plateau Express, Plateau State Internal Revenue Service, PSIRS, Stanley Trump One Shop 2 Bread, Tonap TV, Dreams Nightclub, Amechi EA Prime Events, Mr. R Clothing, Beautiful Bride, The Point Hotel, Chatel Hotel, Mackenzie Trees, Jolex Construction.
Video of Laughter 15.0.
Celebrate 50 years. How many years you did, sir?
Which gets you finish this? What the cost? How you cost my age? You should get out of this video. Get out. Show what's senior you. Nonsense. I want to hear a good one.
Bring down your voice in your entire life. Yes, he should just bring down his voice.
Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government.
Mine is not personal.
We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Yes, at night, so Nigeria would die.
I love my father.
Yeah, welcome back. For all the agitators, has anything changed? Has anything really changed between 1960 and now? Yes, some people might want to say there's no progress at all. But I think there is progress. There's progress here and there. And some things have changed, some situations have changed. But what we really need now, and people are really clamoring, is for the ordinary man to be able to eat 3 times a day without any sort of problems. That is a big problem. A lot of people sleep hungry every day, and that is one situation that we need to end in Nigeria. We need to look for ways so that our people could live better. That's the truth, whether we like it or not. Colonialism, did it help us in any way? Post-independence, did we help ourselves? Because some of the issues that happened post-independence would never have happened during our colonial days. So that is, some people want to say, yes, we are still in colonialism, but this time in an advanced and modern form and modern pattern. Do you agree to that? I want to tell you, if you want to really agree, or you want to really know whether colonialism was a disaster or not, study this book, What Britain Did to Nigeria. I have a copy of this book. I brought it the other day on air, particularly for those of you following us on social media, and I showed you the book. I have a copy. Try and study that book, What Britain Did to Nigeria by Mark Solium. It's an interesting masterpiece. Try and study that book. Now we'll look at some of the issues, that happened today in the past, like the 30th of December. We'll go internationally. But you can still place your call, 080-6464-1536. That's the number to call. And on social media, you can follow me live, Ferdinand Mbum on Facebook, or History Desk TV on Facebook. Also on Instagram, on X, History Desk TV. Then on YouTube, Mbum Ferdinand. On 30th December 1460, as a fallout of the Wars of the Roses, Lancastrians killed the 3rd Duke of York and won the Battle of Wakefield. The Wars of Roses were a series of English civil wars for control of the throne of England, fought between supporters of 2 rival cadet branches of the Royal House of Plantagenet. The House of Lancaster, represented by a red rose, and the House of York, represented by a white rose. Eventually, the wars eliminated the main lines of both families. The conflict lasted through many sporadic episodes between 1455 and 1487, but there was related fighting before and after this period between the parties. The power struggle ignited around social and financial troubles following the 100-year unopposed as the first Yorkist king of England as Edward IV. Resistance smoldered in the north of England until 1464, but the early part of his reign remained relatively peaceful. Now, on the 30th of December 1996, proposed budget cuts by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sparked protests from over 250,000 workers who shut down government services across Israel. As Prime Minister, Netanyahu raised many questions about many central premises. During his first term, Netanyahu began a process of economic liberalization, taking steps towards a free market economy. Under his watch, the government of Israel began selling its shares in banks and major state-run companies. Netanyahu also greatly eased Israel's strict foreign exchange control, enabling Israelis to take an unrestricted amount of money out of the country, open foreign bank accounts, hold foreign currency, and invest freely in other countries. Throughout this term, Netanyahu was opposed by the political left wing in Israel and lost support from the right because of his economic policies and concessions. Later on, he lost the election and remained a private citizen, but now he's back. He's still the incumbent Prime Minister of Israel as we speak now, Benjamin Netanyahu. On the 30th of December 1993, Israel established diplomatic relations with the Vatican City and also upgraded to full diplomatic relations with Republic of Ireland, also known as the Holy See-Israel relations, or the diplomatic relations between the Holy See and the State of Israel. It was the former diplomatic relations between the two states, which were established in 1993 after the adoption of the Fundamental Accord by the two states on the 30th of December 1993. A Vatican Nunciature in Israel and an Israeli embassy in Rome were established on the 19th of January 1994. From the Vatican's point of view, the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two states is part of the Christian-Jewish reconciliation. And from the Israeli point of view, the normalization of diplomatic relations. Prior to the establishment of diplomatic relations, the interests of the Catholic Church in Israel were looked after by the Apostolic Delegate to Jerusalem and Palestine, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, and the custodian of the Holy Land, all of which continue to function. Andre Cordero Lanza de Montezemolo was appointed as the first apostolic nuncio to Israel. Shemuel Hadas was appointed first Israeli ambassador to the Holy See in September of that year. The present nuncio to Israel is Leopold Girelli, who was appointed on the 3rd of September 2017. He follows Giuseppe Lazzarotto, who was appointed in 2012, Antonio Franco, who was appointed in 2006, Pietro Sambi, who was appointed in 1998, and the first nuncio to Israel, Andre Cordero Lanza de Montezemolo. The present Israeli ambassador to the Holy See is Zion Evroni, who was appointed on 31st July 2012. They're living there. On the 3rd of December 2006, former president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, was executed by hanging. The execution of President Saddam Hussein took place on Saturday, the 30th December 2006. Saddam was sentenced to death by hanging after being convicted of crimes against humanity by the Iraqi Special Tribunal for the murder of 148 Iraqi Shiites in the town of Jujair in 1982 in relation to an assassination attempt against him. The Iraqi government released an official videotape of his execution showing him being led to the gallows and ending after the hangman's noose was placed over his head. International public controversy arose when a mobile phone recording of the hanging showed him surrounded by a contingent of his countrymen who jeered him in Arabic and praised the Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr and his subsequent fall through the trapdoor of the gallows. The atmosphere of the execution drew criticism around the world from nations that oppose as well as support capital punishment. On Sunday, the 31st of December 2006, Saddam Hussein's body was returned to his birthplace of Al-Ajah near Tikrit and was buried near the graves of other family members. Tomorrow is 31st, so we'll tell you briefly about the happenings of 31st. In Nigeria, we've said it, we discussed extensively here on the Buhari regime. Buhari took over government, overthrowing a democratically elected government on the 31st of December 1983. He putted out the government of Alhaji Shehu Usman Shagari that was democratically elected. That must be stressed. Must lay emphasis on that. Democratically elected government. So do we want to say military governments are illegal governments? Yes. As far as I'm concerned, the military government should be declared illegal. It's an illegal government. Any military government is an illegal government. But he took over power fully on the 1st of January 1984. Then internationally, on the 31st of December 1981, Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings overthrew the government of Nnamdi Man in Ghana and became head of state. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Now let's go to 1st of January. On 1st January 45 BC, the Julian calendar took effect as the civil calendar of the Roman Empire, establishing January 1st as the date of the new year. And this is the calendar we are using today. The Julian calendar proposed by Julius Caesar in 708, that is in 46 BC, was a reform of the Roman Catholic, or should I say the Roman calendar. It took effect on January 1st, 709 AUC, that is 45 BC, by edict. It was designed with the aid of Greek mathematicians and Greek astronomers, such as Sesigenes of Alexandria. The calendar was the predominant calendar in the Roman world, most of Europe, and in European settlements in the Americas and elsewhere, until it was gradually replaced by the Gregorian calendar, promulgated in 1582 by Pope Gregory the 13th. Pope Gregory the 13th. The Julian calendar is still in use in part of the Eastern Orthodox Church, in part of original Orthodoxy and Anabaptism, as well as the Babas. During the 20th and 21st centuries, a date according to the Julian calendar of 13 days earlier than behind its corresponding Gregorian